Yeah, we didn't know at the time, but in hindsight, it was after South African girls. Three, to be exact. The Traveller wanted three. You should ask Bronwyn. She's the one that knows about rights. I just know it normally involves three, and all three share a common attribute. I guess you might call them demons, in as much as they can get inside us. They come from other worlds. Kind of, yeah. Quantum physics is real, didn't you know? um, there are many universes. In technical terms, a traveler is a trans-dimensional being far more superior to us, in as much as they can choose which reality to hang out in. We just get this one. Yes, disturbingly. It's actually a lot more complicated than that. They choose a reality/universe where they actually evolve to become the person they're possessing. So they jump in a few million years before our timelines intersect. They can't just jump into someone. It takes a few hours for that. They make the decision before they travel, which is why we can catch them. Yes, probably. The tarot doesn't just sat-nav us to normal murders.
And the drowning actually relates to emotional stress. So if I'm honest, Alex, and I hope...
We've got to stop meeting like this. Seriously though, Sam, I'm working. Can't it wait? Just give me to 8, okay?
you share and it's something that you have in common. And obviously, so I really hope that, Alex, that you find someone to reach out to.
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Smiling mouth. As part of her head. I expected to see a dripping
Rain. Yes, the Tower Reader. Delightful fella, but I couldn't offer him anything. He asked if he could do readings for my customers while they waited. Can't have that really, it's retail ambush. He offered, but I declined. There's no such thing as fate detective. If there was, you could stop investigating right now. If you're supposed to find a killer, you will. Why put in the effort?
Yes, I understand now. I must set free.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Front of my car. Naturally, I slammed on the brakes and attempted to swerve away from her, but I still felt the...
Chief? Again?
Did Dorota have any online friends?
She didn't really use any social networks. Didn't have the time. Mainly just cello.
Go to any clubs or groups? Do you have access to her email?
No, she didn't email much. She checked the messages on her phone. What is it you're looking for?
Anything that helps solve the murder.
Okay, that makes sense.
Distorted voice from the now crackling speakers.
Hello? I know you. You're the police chief.
I understand that you knew Dorota Shaw. What type of photos do you take? I understand that you knew Dorota Shaw.
We met briefly, yes. I freelanced for the August Chronicle, and they did a story about her.
Was that the first time you met her? The scholarship to Juilliard?
That's right. We exchanged a few pleasantries. I happened to mention my portrait services, so she booked a session with me.
When was this?
A few weeks ago.
What type of photos do you take?
For the paper. Record shots that any idiot with a phone can take. My studio is where the magic happens. Mainly portraiture, but I dabble in other areas.
Boudoir photography?
Sometimes, if that's what the client wants. Are you asking for yourself, or...?
It's for the case. Don't be facetious.
I'm deadly serious. Most of my clients are female, but I wouldn't like to assume.
That the keys were still in the ignition. I left my door open as I cautiously walked back towards a body that lay unnaturally twisted atop the pavement.
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
That it was a smell that would never let me sleep at night.
Zach! What are you doing here? Quick, don't let anyone see you.
Why don't you want anyone to see me? Everyone's talking about Dorota. Are you happy Dorota's dead? Everyone's talking about Dorota.
I know. But I suppose people like that attract trouble.
People like what? Is that why you killed her? People like what?
Homewreckers. Anyway, I hope you didn't just come here to talk about Dorota.
Why don't you want anyone to see me? Are you happy Dorota's dead?
I didn't say that. But we both know what Dorota was like. She practically threw herself at you.
She didn't throw herself at me. Why'd you think that? She didn't throw herself at me.
Don't play games with me, Zach. You know how insecure I get.
Why don't you want anyone to see me?
What? You're the one who said we shouldn't be seen together. What are you doing here?
I wanted to make sure we were still okay.
What did you do? What did you say to Sam?
Please, don't die. I tried to stay calm as I pulled my phone from my pocket and dialed.
Zach, let me stop you there. You are one creepy fellow. Now, I don't know what you had going on with Dorota, but I don't want anything to do with it. Do not come back here. Please.
Hello? What is your emergency? I hit a woman.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Where did this happen? I looked down at the girl as her chest blinked, and she no longer gripped my hand. But I still clung to her hand. She was gone. Turned into waves that grew into a deeper and richer blue, like satin sheets. Like...
Sensing the thing with Bronwyn went badly.
Why did you put me up to it?
I need all hands on deck. You're a hand. At least I thought you were.
Nothing happened.
Never mind. At least you tried.
Is there anything else I can do?
No, you've done enough. I'll keep up my end of the bargain, make those speeding tickets go away, though technically you'd have more points than a hedgehog if I kept them. And if I do catch you speeding in August again, Oscar, instant ban. Capiche?
Yes.
Yes.
Down the last 3 stairs and nearly killed. Sleeping in the kitchen doorway. I opened the door from the kitchen to the garage and flipped on the lights. I fell down in the doorway and cried. To explain. I pulled myself to my feet and headed towards the door, ready to show the officers my car. But my...
It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Sam, I've got news. We've done a reading.
It's a 5 of Swords. That's the same card as yesterday.
Let's hope it's not the Knight of Wands. This doesn't look good.
It's fine. This happens all the time. There are 78 cards in a deck. The same ones come up a lot.
I get it, but we drew the exact same cards yesterday. What are the odds of pulling all 3 again?
1 in 474,552. I know. I get asked a lot.
Bet it's a 10 of Swords.
It's happening again. There's going to be another murder. Then Lexi did her thing, and now we have a name. Alice Monroe.
Against evil.
Oh, wow.
That's what can...
Sam, do me a favour, go easy on Violet. If we need to get anything out of her, let me deal with it. She'll open up to me. We've got a new target. Alice Monroe. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
Wasn't she looking well? Part of her... Not with how it mocked.
Monroe. Everyone knows her. She's a local radio star here. Couple of times, promo shoots, that sort of thing. No, she is my type though. Type of model. I'll ask her about the boudoir shoot again.
As Penn reached for a slice of bread.
You must be Sam.
I just got off the phone with Chief DuPont. I can't believe it. First Dorota, now me. Yes, we were friends. I hadn't known her for long, only a few weeks. We met at the gala. I was hosting and she was playing the cello, you know? I guess we talked for a little while and then she asked me for a drink after the show. After we'd had a few drinks, she invited me back to her house. I thought we were just gonna chat, watch a movie, that sort of thing. Then she kissed me. I was so shocked. She was so attractive. So I kissed her back. Oscar, yeah. She was a bit confused. When we started seeing each other, she didn't like him touching her anymore. I didn't mind, but she did. So I told her if he wanted to get sexual, then maybe she should try something else. I said some guys like to watch, so tell him it would be sexy if he could look but he couldn't touch. As far as I know, it worked. She told Oscar to watch from her walk-in wardrobe. When he was at a safe distance, she put on a show. She faked it. It was her mom's. She was saving it in case she ever got married. This is just between us, right? We fooled around. I don't have many friends, Sam. Everyone thinks because I'm on the radio, I have tons of friends, so nobody ever approaches me. I get lonely. But Dorota was my friend, and I liked making her happy. I'm not going into detail, Sam. We pledged each other multiple times. We're co-hosts on the radio. Oh, sorry. You know that already. We've been partners for 2 years now. He's a good friend. Can't we be both, Sam? Poe's his radio name. He's actually John Poe. He's on air now, but you can come back at 8:30 if you want to see him. On air? We both were. We broadcast live hourly news reports. It's how we keep our funding. Not very well. He's done a few shoots of me and Poe to promote the show. He's fine. He keeps asking me to pose for him, you know, without any clothes on. I always say no. No. Sorry. I did have a strange dream last night, though. My life was playing on a TV screen, and every time I did something, another version of me started playing over the first. In the end, there were so many versions it became a fog. It filled my lungs. I couldn't breathe. And then I woke up. What do you think that means, Sam? I don't know what. I mean, I'm anxious now. Maybe it was predicting Dorota's death. Or mine. That sounds reassuring. I hope it's not just words, Sam. You've kind of just asked about Dorota since you got here. Sam? You forgot your phone.
Waited to reach the bottom. They went through their schedule for some 2 meters wide that seemed to go on for several kilometers into the ground. Its edges were most unusual in that they were astonishingly smooth down to a molecular level. Indeed,
No. I can do a reading if you want. Chariot. Is Zach a suspect? I'm sensing there's a lot of tension, pent-up frustration, like he's trying to keep everything together, and if he can just do that... I'm sorry, that's not much help to you, is it? I've heard on the radio, but other than that, I don't know anything about her. I want to help though. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Although we can be sure of one thing. Yeah, she sounded blonde on the radio, but Mercury called her as a redhead. A little bit. What did you want to know? A rite can take many forms, but from what we know about these travelers, it seems to be performing some kind of coming-of-age ceremony. We've all known about them for hundreds of years. We just know them by different names. Demons, skinwalkers, Jack the Ripper. They're all travelers. Three attempts? Yes, that's likely. But 3 victims? That's up to you, Sam. No pressure. Was it a gold coin? I should have known. That's the same as Birmingham. Although they beheaded the victims, they all had gold coins in their mouths. It's their way of marking their territory to prove it's their work. Yes, of course, anything. Why Violet? Do you think she's in danger? You don't think she's involved, do you? Leave it with me, I'll see what I can find out. And don't worry, I'll be super discreet.
Dr. Utani, I hear you loud and clear, he replied. All right, we're going to accelerate your descent a bit, otherwise we'll be here all day.
I know the name. She's off the radio. Hard to get away from it in this town. In Birmingham, it was a man called Yuri Harris. He worked as a butcher. He beheaded all 3 girls within hours of each other. And we couldn't stop it. He pleaded not guilty for reason of temporary insanity. Because he said he'd see us again. In August. Before we even knew it was a month and a place.
After plummeting what was probably a few hundred meters more, he jerked to a sudden halt. That's the end of the rope.
So what's the news about Ellis? I feel so useless sitting here. I want to help. Yes, please use me. Tell me what to do. Who's that? Is he a suspect? I guess he must be. Okay, I'm on the case. Just give me a minute to get ready and I'll be off.
Help him out. He desperately tried to dismiss the thought and focus on his work. Not much to see here, just more smooth black surfaces and...
You're only alive because we want you to be.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
End up malfunctioning down here. It's too dark now to take a photo, but...
Claude?
Violet, there's been a UFO sighted on a night that you can't remember.
Shh! Claude, I told you never to speak about this. Wait. So you think it's real?
I need you to tell Sam what happened. It'll help.
Help what? Me? I'll think about it.
The sound of the scratching pencil that had still lingered in his head. A welcome reprieve from the unnerving silence, he thought.
Chief, what a surprise to see you. Again.
Why didn't you tell me Ellis was next?
I told you Dorota was first. And that didn't turn out very well, did it? Let's hope Sam does a better job than you did.
The whispers grew louder, or perhaps they were getting closer. Dimitri started... Get out there, please! He swore he heard laughter coming from down below. His chest and his stomach started to turn inside out. He tried climbing up the rope in a panic. Finally, he felt the sweet release of slowly being lifted up towards the surface.
Chief DuPont, thanks for calling in.
I'm just checking you're safe.
At the moment, my heart's beating 1,000 times a minute and I can't sit still. Every noise or knock on the door makes me jump out of my skin, and I keep looking behind me. Is that safe?
Have I ever let you down? What's real? Have I ever let you down?
Yes, actually. Last year? With Dennis, remember?
Dennis? But you're still here. Dennis?
Yes, Dennis. The stalker who broke into Radio August chloroformed me, tied me up, after stripping me down to my underwear. I told you about him 4, 5, 6 times, and you never did anything. Chief DuPont, yes. I'm scared.
Thanks to some earlier linguistic discovery.
Chief, I wanted to ask you something.
Is it about the Buddha? What did you want to ask?
Am I still a suspect?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Good. Listen, I think I might get out of this place soon. I need some space.
Is it about the boudoir photos?
Yeah. So it's true then?
I haven't seen them. I'm sorry. It's all tasteful stuff. Maybe a gift for you.
I didn't get them. Now I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't seen them.
The whispers had stopped. Dimitri wondered how the light could be on if his room was still shrouded in darkness. He rubbed the heels of his hands against his eyes, trying hopelessly to rub the black as he came to the terrifying realization that he had gone blind. Panicking, his bare feet touched the cold floor, and quickly, but carefully,
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
the base, which he knew to be consistently occupied by crew members returning from their shifts. And waited. Again, there was no response. Presence in the room. He could hear them breathing. He tried again. I can't see. I think I'm blind. The breathing became heavier, but there was no reply. Without knowing what came over him, Dimitri yelled out in frustration and fear, stomping his feet like a frustrated child. Please help me!
Hello, lovely. Take a look at this. It's a picture of Dorota.
I don't want to see pictures of your conquests.
It's not like that. It's just a press photo. Do you see anything in it?
A girl holding a cello.
You don't see any movement. Just Dorota.
He just wanted to leave this nightmare and go home, but home was a million miles away. He knew he was alone here, and no one would be coming to help him. It was then he heard